Hello, we're here today with Wesleyan's new head football coach, Mike Whalen, class of 1983, as he returns to his alma mater to take over the charge of the football team for the 2010 season. Coming to Wesleyan from Williams College, where he was very successful as a six-year head coach for the Eafs and 6-0 against Wesleyan during his tenure there. So, head coach Mike Whalen, you're back at your alma mater, ready to take the Cardinal Gridman to the task of an upcoming season. What do you envision for your team this year?
Well, we obviously there's a lot of transition. So we've got a brand new staff in place, and I know our coaches are very excited. I know our players are very excited, and we're looking forward to the challenges that lie ahead. Having said that, some of the challenges that we face is without spring practice, without or with an abbreviated preseason. It's very, very challenging for us as coaches to try and implement new systems on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively, as well as our special teams. So we're going to ask a lot of our players, and they know that. And fortunately, we deal with bright student athletes who we hope can pick up a lot of what we're trying to ask of them to do. And we're going to, hopefully, one of the things that we've talked about as a staff is just trying not to do too much, to make sure that we're able to get our kids lined up on both sides of the football and play. Because one of the things about football is very, very difficult to do is if you're up at the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, thinking about what you're supposed to be doing, it makes it very, very difficult to be successful. So we want to hopefully get 11 guys lined up on offense, 11 guys lined up on defense, and let them know, that they can go play hard for 60 minutes, and at the end of that, we'll see how we stack up.
Mike, that's a great analysis. I know you have a very veteran team coming back. Probably in my almost 30 years here at Wesleyan, one of the most veteran squads I've seen. I think in my breakdown of the team, we have about 19 out of 24 starters back from last year, including two all-NESCAC performers. Our two of our tri-captains, the offensive lineman Nick Sierra, who is coming back as a second-team all-NESCAC performer, and we're just going to switch on over to his headshot here for a minute, and there's Nick Sierra. And right next to him on screen, we have returning all-NESCAC performer Justin Ferez, as here we have him pictured running a interception return against Bates during his freshman year in 2007 back for a touchdown. And he returns also as a second-team all-NESCAC performer, the third tri-captain being quarterback Joe Giamo. So with that kind of experience in your for your upcoming season, what do you think will be the easiest part of the transition? Do you think you'll be able to just put these kids back in their normal positions? Do you expect to shuffle some kids around? And with your newcomers, what else do you think might be expected from this team?
Well, I mean, I think the preseason is going to be very, very important for us as coaches, and obviously for our players. There is going to be some kids that are going to be asked to play some different positions. And a lot of it is due to the fact that our system is different than what was run in the past. In the past they didn't play with a tight end on every down. They didn't play with a fullback on the field. We are going to be doing some of those things if we can find the correct personnel to fill those needs. So there's definitely going to be some challenges, but the one thing I can tell you to this point is our kids have been very, very excited about the season and have been very receptive to doing whatever we ask of them in terms of trying to put them in the best position to be successful this season. So I think it's going to be a matter of us as coaches figuring out what in our system best fits our personnel, because we don't have the luxury of going out to the waiver wire and trying to find new players or anything like that. We're playing with the kids that are here, and the nucleus that's coming back is a good group. They've worked very hard. They've continued to stay in touch over the summer, and I think they're excited about the season that lies ahead. So we're going into it realistically, but also with high expectations and hoping that our kids will meet the challenges that will be put in front of them for the preseason.
I mean, looking back at last year's results, I see that Wesleyan finished 3-5, but took both Trinity and Colby into overtime, games that were certainly winnable for Wesleyan, and also had a 14-0 lead against Hamilton before letting it slip away in the second half and falling in that game. So the Cardinals were nearly a 6-2 season a year ago, although finishing 3-5. I don't want to put you on tape saying exactly what you anticipate our record to be at the end of the upcoming season, but if you had to assess our opponents, we do start with 3 games on the road out of 4. What do you think would represent a successful season as far as wins and losses are concerned?
Well, to me, I think you hit the nail on the head. Is the first half of our season is going to be critical. I mean, traveling up to Middlebury, take on a very, very talented Middlebury team. It's led by a senior quarterback who's a returning player of the year in the conference. That's going to be a very, very difficult challenge on the road. Coming home to play a Hamilton team who, as you said, beat us last year, and then playing 2 games on the road again in Maine, both against teams. Bates, was up in our game last year early on, and Wesleyan came back and beat them. And then, as you said, the overtime game with Colby. So there's a lot of challenges that await us in those first 4 games, and particularly when 3 of them are on the road, and particularly when 3 of them are overnight games. So we've got to adapt the road warrior mentality a little bit and get our kids ready for those challenges. But I think the biggest thing for us is going to be the key is going to be our preseason. If we can stay healthy during the preseason and we can keep our key players on the practice field, because even the veteran players who are established, who are good players, are going to need every single practice to prepare themselves for the new system. So that's the challenge that we have. Is if everything was coming back and it was status quo, I think we would all be a little more comforted at this point. But I think with the fact that again coming back to there being new systems, kids are going to be asked to do different things than what they've done in the past. That just puts that much more importance on the preseason. So I think we'll have a good handle coming out of our inter-squad scrimmage and our scrimmage with Trinity, kind of where our football team is at, and hopefully, we can stay healthy and we can continue to get better each practice. And if we can do that, then I think we got a chance to be successful.
Great, Mike. We'll wish you the best of luck in that opening game. That will be Saturday, September 25th at Middlebury College. It's a 1 p.m. start, and there will probably be some sort of video webcast from the Panthers Stadium for that game. So we'll be looking forward to seeing how it all fares out, and by the end of the season, 8th game against Trinity and the season finale here in Middletown on the 13th of November, we'll be looking to see what kind of a record we achieve. So thank you for your time this morning, Coach Mike Whalen of Wesleyan University football.